Good day everyone, this is Bernie Batanes once again. Today we are going to make cinnamon roll slash Cinnabon. So let's start. So first we activate our yeast. We need oil, eggs, salt, and bread flour. You can use plain flour or all-purpose flour. So once our yeast is activated, we're going to start mixing our bread dough. So we add our egg. So as you can see, I always break the egg separately. The reason is so that if you have a bad egg, you will not ruin the whole mixture. And now we are going to add our flour a cup at a time. So as you can see, I'm adding another set of eggs because I'm making a double batch. So as usual, the recipe will be written on the description box below. So I've added the vegetable oil and salt. You can use melted butter in replacement of the vegetable oil. I prefer vegetable oil. And so we are adding our flour a cup at a time and give it a stir after each addition. So why a cup at a time? So that the flour has the chance to soak up the wet ingredients and it will be easier to knead afterwards. So as you can see, it's a pretty wet dough, and don't be tempted to add more flour because then it's going to be a tough dough afterwards and it will be a bit dry after you cook your bread. So you just have to keep on kneading. So when you knead, you don't push it down, you push it away. That's the tip that I always say whenever I'm kneading the dough. It's faster and you'll get the result easier and faster. So we are almost there. We just have to do it a little bit more. So as you can see, it's still a bit sticky, so we need to knead it a little bit more. And once you poke your bread dough and it bounces back, then you'll know it's ready. So now we're going to let it rise for about an hour and a half to 2 hours, depending on the temperature of your kitchen. I always put my bread dough inside the oven with the light on so that I will get the result faster. So while the bread dough is rising, let's mix our sugar and cinnamon. So we give it a good stir and set it aside. This is for our filling. And now our bread dough is ready. This is after an hour and a half inside the oven with the light on. So it's beautiful. So every time I get this result, it makes me happy. So I cut it in two. I just eyeball it every time, as you have seen with my previous videos. So we just have to roll it out and make it rectangular shape as much as possible. And then we will spread the butter in the bread dough, so it helps if your butter is soft but not melted. So we have to be sure of that. And then we sprinkle the sugar cinnamon mixture on top of it, and then we start to roll. So when you're rolling, you want to roll it a bit tight, so you get the beautiful circular inside your bread dough. And it helps if it's a bit tight, so it won't open up on you later when you rise it and when you bake it. So now we're going to divide our cinnamon roll. So first, I always cut it in half. It's easier that way. I cut it in half, and then the other half to half, and then half, and then you'll get your slices evenly, at least. So we put it in our baking tray, and we let it rise for another 30 minutes or until the cinnamon roll has doubled in size. You want to put a space in between so it doesn't puff up. It will double in size, but it will spread. It's nicer that way. So that's ready. And we're doing the other half, so we're just doing the same thing. So as you have seen in previously, I put a few pieces in the Ziploc bag. I'm gonna put it in the freezer and freeze it, and bake it afterwards and see the result if it's the same. So this is the second roll. So we're just doing the same thing as the previous one. So the seam side, you want to pinch it so it doesn't open up when you slice your cinnamon roll. So that's looking good. It's now ready for the second rise. And so while we are rising the cinnamon rolls, we are going to make our icing. So the icing is cream cheese, butter, and icing sugar, and a little bit of whole milk. So you just have to mix your butter and cream cheese together, and then once it is mixed and soft, you want to add the whole milk a little bit at a time. You don't want to pour too much, because otherwise you will have a runny icing afterwards. You want to see the texture that you want with your icing. So as you can see, I'm adding a little bit at a time. So my bowl is a bit small. We're going to transfer it to a bigger one so we can mix it really, really well. So give it a good mix, a little bit more of the milk. So we leave this for a moment. Our cinnamon roll has doubled in size. As you can see, it's beautifully rise. And we're going to bake it for 10 minutes at first. I will tell you while in a bit. So we are going to finish our icing. Let's add our icing sugar a little bit at a time and give it a good stir. You want to mix it very well and incorporate a bit of air in there, just a tiny bit. So you're looking for this texture, a little bit runny, not too runny. So that's nice. We just transfer it to the smaller bowl again. And then once the cinnamon roll has baked for 10 minutes, we are going to take it out and we are going to pour a full cream milk on top of it. Why? Because it will make it really soft, and the texture will be like cotton in your mouth. It will be like a melt in your mouth Cinnabon. So after that, we're going to bake it again until the top of your cinnamon roll has turned into golden brown. So this is the second batch. Same as the first one, I poured cream on top and bake it again until the top is golden brown. So as you can see, it's really beautiful. And then I pour the icing on top. So you want to pour your icing while it is warm. So as you can see, I left the other one plain because they want plain. And this one is the one that I froze. You just have to take it out, let it rise at room temperature until it's puffy, and then bake it at the same time until it's golden brown, and you'll have your fresh cinnamon roll. So that's it. Thank you for joining me once again. I hope that I shared something interesting and that you'll try to make it at home and let me know how it goes. Thank you for watching. God bless. Bye-bye.